For those moments when you get tired of being the hero of the story, there is always an alternative. Shift the perspective and become the bad guy. To our immense joy, many game developers have been so thoughtful as to create various gaming titles that allow us to step into the shoes of the baddies and take over the world. In conclusion, in what follows, we're going to take a look at 14 of the best gaming titles that let you play as the villain. Presented as the biggest, best, and evilest dungeon sim yet, this video game really puts an emphasis on being the baddest protagonist of them all. Dungeons 3 is so well polished and complete that it simply grips its players into making them feel fully addicted to its classical yet innovative gameplay. All of the ill deeds you'll have to commit in order to stop the heroes from conquering your dungeon turning into the main pleasure of this game. INFECTONATOR 3 doesn't just have a crazy funny name, it is also a pretty mad game in and of itself. This pixel art zombie apocalypse arcade sim proving to be so full of things to do that you definitely won't have a chance of getting bored while playing it. The fast-paced gameplay of this little game has only one goal: destroying the entire humankind with your ever-growing army of brain-eating zombies that are totally up to no good. When it's 3 in the morning and your neighbours are having a wild get-together and are driving you crazy with all that noise, all that you have to do is grab your trusted knife and proceed with bringing mayhem to the party people that brought you to your wit's end. Party Hard has semi-procedurally generated environments and focuses on unique ways of killing people, a simple and evil premise that you'll have to fulfill across the entire gameplay. A sequel to the critically acclaimed cult hit, Overlord 2 is channeling all of the wickedness of its forebearer and increases it in such a way that you're going to feel like you're truly bathing in a pool of naughtiness while playing it. In this game you get to be at your worst, going around and killing all the creatures and critters that cross your path, being just some of the casual means that you can employ to fulfill your destiny in this game and ultimately take over the entire world. As the title already suggests, Hatred is a game about hate, where you get to play the role of a character named simply, yet effectively, the antagonist, with the pure task of eliminating all humankind. The gameplay revolves exclusively around the idea of running through the city, killing people and creating chaos all over the outskirts of New York, the end goal being to become the cruelest, most ruthless human being on Earth. A mix between the James Bond movies and the famous Dungeon Keeper gaming title, Evil Genius is one of the most well-known real-time strategy titles that lets you play as the main villain. Global domination is the final achievement you struggle to reach during the whole gameplay, fending off the forces of justice and planning the most cunning of operations being the principal ways of becoming the evilest of masterminds. Postal is definitely the most infamous top-down shooter on the market, its extreme gore and violence being acknowledged as one of the most prominent in the world of video gaming. The protagonist from Postal has no problem shooting civilians and military forces alike, the entire gameplay being just a massive bloodbath where the player gets to call all the shots and fire all the guns out of the sheer pleasure of killing people. For those of you who like a little drama with their gaming titles, DEMONHEART is the perfect choice. It features a female protagonist who is possessed by a demon and must make all kinds of decisions throughout the gameplay, most of them basically being evil ones. Filled with mature language, sexual references, and a good deal of violence, DEMONHEART has much more to offer in terms of evilness than meets the eye. Sid is a lawful demon who carries on with his life in the city of Darkestville, haunting residents, scaring children, and maintaining a constant atmosphere of panic throughout the town. Reminding us very much of Tim Burton's movies and drawing inspiration from classic point-and-click games, Darkestville Castle offers over 7 hours of sheer enjoyment, all its players being treated to a one-of-a-kind, purely evil adventure. Why settle terrorizing only the inhabitants of Earth when you can step into the shoes of an interspatial villain and rule over the entire galaxy with an iron fist? Space Tyrant is a strategy game set in a darkly humorous future where you can employ tactical combat moves and strategic scheming to oppress the rest of the peaceful aliens that want nothing more than to go about their daily life and not be eradicated in some of the most horrific ways imaginable. Yet another gaming title which tells you straight from the get-go that it is up to no good, Nefarious is an action platformer where you globe hop between several kingdoms, kidnapping princesses and bringing terror to all the beings that you happen to stumble upon along the way. The cherry on top is that you yourself are the literal boss fight, stomping on heroes and making their life miserable in battles of epic proportions, this being your new purpose in life. Featuring a 3D open world, Lucius is a horror game full of demonic symbols, starting with the name, Lucius, a direct reference to Lucifer, and continuing with the protagonist's date of birth, June 6th, 1966. The main character of this game is equipped with mind control and telekinetic supernatural powers, and his sole intention is to eliminate the inhabitants of this manor one by one, slowly and painfully until there's no soul left in the house. A title totally different from what we usually refer to as a video game, Diabolical is a 130,000 word interactive novel that is only fueled by the vast unstoppable power of your imagination. No graphics or sound effects being used to create the game. The gameplay is like in the olden times when there were no computers, and it lets you turn into the world's greatest criminal mastermind, the outcome of the game depending entirely on your choices. Evil Quest is defined by a simple motto: why save the world when you can conquer it? And we all know that conquering something cannot happen peacefully, a great deal of violence and oppression being used in the process of becoming the world's greatest and most feared leader. Created as a retro action RPG title, Evil Quest features both a dark dialogue and a gloomy storyline that perfectly complements the villainous theme of the game. This was our list showcasing 14 of the best games where you fight against the good guys. Make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons because it helps us immensely, and why not leave a comment below whilst you're at it. You can also check out GameBite.com for even more from the world of gaming, but until next time, thanks for watching and have a great day.